Hey y'all, it's me, Niecy Lynn. This is Friday, January the 7th, and we're gonna be fighting weird light all morning because if I go like that, I don't know, that's some weirdness. I'm not sure what's going on with the sun right now, but anyway, I have gathered up my whips that I'm working on, and then I thought I would show my other whips. So this will be a total whip parade. I think this is everything I have in the works over here. I did get a finish this week, so I'm excited about that. And I'm gonna pull this over here, and maybe that will help with the weird face light. I don't know. Possibly not. I hope y'all are having a good week. I hope you had a good New Year. We just stayed in and stayed home all weekend. We really didn't get out much. Our friends that have been sick, thank y'all for checking in. Our family, they are all recovering well. They did, Micah and Justin decided to keep Kimmy home today. The COVID numbers at school, she went back on Wednesday in first grade, and the COVID numbers are through the roof. And so they're doing some kind of team something because of teachers and everything being out also. And so they decided just to keep her home today. They've had their first shot. She and her sister got their first shot over the Christmas break. They haven't had their second one. So, but I did get some stitching done this week. I did get a finish, which makes me happy. This is Jessie Watson, whom I've told y'all time and time again, and I changed the camera angle. In the background here, I've still got my big Christmas tree to take down and my little bitty tree at the front. So I have got about half Christmas down because the mantle's undone and all the other things, bedrooms, bathrooms, all that is all taken down and put up and washed and put away. But I do still have those left to go, and my nativity, because I always leave it out till till Three Kings Day or Epiphany, whichever one you call it. But I leave out my big tree and my nativity stuff until then. So today, the rest of that will come down. Maybe the girls will want to help me. If not, I'll finish it up this weekend. It's no big deal. Sometimes they like to help do things like that, and sometimes they don't. So we'll just play it by ear. I had them and Mama here on Tuesday. Tuesday was the last day before Kim would go back to school. So I had them, and I went and picked her up, and she spent the day here with us. It was really cold, so we didn't go outside, but just for a few minutes so Aria could show her how she could skateboard on her purple skateboard. And, you know, I told you on Christmas Day, we were all sweating out there, dying. It was so hot while she was skateboarding. And then less than a week later, it's frigid out there. I think it was 40 and the wind was blowing a gale. So we didn't stay out very long. I had Mom wrapped in one of my Mexican blankets, a serape, and had her out there with her jacket on and everything so Aria could show her how she can do on her skateboard. But it was a short-lived show because it was pretty cold. So we watched a little bit and came back in, and then they let her, they showed her Encanto. She had not seen Encanto on Disney. And then, what else did they watch? Start for her in the afternoon. That was the morning. In the afternoon, oh, the Jungle Cruise. They let her watch the Jungle Cruise with them. So there was some reading and snuggling, and they did put on a couple of shows for us with their little costumes and things. So that was fun, and she enjoyed the heck out of it. I've talked to her, I guess every day since then, and she mentions it again, and she keeps saying, you know, Yershti. For her, it's still Yershti, and that's fine. I hope it feels like it was Yershti every day, and since she seemed to enjoy it. So they were real sweet and played along, except she did get on to them one time when Aria was doing something in front of the TV, and Encanto was on, and she said, Aria, you're gonna have to move. I can't see through you. Maybe you need to find out what was gonna happen on there now, look. But I did work on Jessie Watson. This is, my gosh, this light is gonna be a mess today. This is the Autism Sal with Barbara the Raspberry Stitcher. She divided it all out so we could stay on track, which I love, love, love that. That makes me crazy happy. And I did grab some little things, so I'll try to. There goes Jessie down on the ground, but I caught her. She was trying to get away. I got my house finished. I've got the windows still need some work. I'm just gonna stick this on here a little bit so you can kind of see. on each one, and then I'll take it off, and this will take forever, and I'm sorry, but I won't do it but for the ones that I'm currently stitching on, so you can see it a little bit better. It's just kind of floppy if you don't. Some people do really good about holding it up, but I'm not really good about it. It wants to flop around, but it's probably my T-Rex arms anyway. But I got the rest of the building done. I had kind of done the outside and here. And so I got the rest of my building done, and then I started framing in the windows. And so then I have my roof. There is this beautiful heart over here that's done in eyelet stitches. I don't know if you can see that right there. And then I'll put Sally Coleman across the bottom right here. I have to go back to keep that light out off of here. I don't know if this camera angle will be better or worse, y'all. I don't know. It seems dark and strange, but then if I go this way, it seems like crazy light and weird, so I don't know. But there is my beautiful house. There we go, maybe. I have loved stitching on this. Super crazy fun stitch. If you haven't done one of these are the little gems from the Hands Across the Sea. They are fabulous charts. Easy to read, easy to see. They give you some background with them. They are just a joy, an absolute joy to stitch. What in the world, Light? We kind of go to war, me and this light today. But I do love stitching on this. And I just pull my own colors. I've got DMC 336 and 937. I've got a Classic Colorworks Old Blue Jeans. And then I've got a Wicked Stepmother's Flesh of My Flesh, Blue Velvet, Holly Jolly Christmas, Little Red Riding Hood, Rose Garden, and Hey Jude. And I just pulled something similar. I didn't want to do the rainbow letters. You can see on here the letters are, each one's a different color. And I did not want to try to change my threads that much. And I don't know, I just like a solid alphabet. Don't tell Aria. She loves her some rainbow. I was shocked the other day though, she told me she wasn't, because she's always told me she was gonna drive a rainbow van. And then this week she said no, she wasn't gonna drive a rainbow van, and I was just sad. Nearly as sad as when I said, Kimi used to have her giant that we'd make up stories about, a giant named Bum. His name was Bum, and we would laugh because for whatever reason in her little mind, Bum had a wife and a girlfriend. And we would just think that was so hilarious. And you know, we would tell stories about him and we'd talk about him all the time. And this week I nearly went to bawling because I said something about Bum and she said, "Who's Bum, Shug?" Y'all, I wanted to ugly cry. I mean, ugly cry. Because there is that something happens and you leave those child things in your brain get left behind when you go to school, I guess, and you start filling it up with other stuff. But I was crushed, y'all, crushed, tore up. I did not know what to say. I was like, "Baby, remember your friend that we would tell stories about?" And she said, "Oh, okay." So sad. I was so dang sad. I guess Cody's going to work next door. It sounds like his truck, y'all. I don't know if y'all can hear that on the video or not. I worked on Miss Margaret Ann Rollo. She is a PDF download now. I don't think Krista said she had her in paper form anymore, but you can get her off her Etsy shop. She is beautiful. Just stitching along. Miss Margaret Ann Rollo. She is beautiful. You can, and she did chart out where you could put Merry Christmas in here. It's already charted. And then it has these two others in there also. It is a beauty. And I'm loving stitching on it. It is on, I'm stitching on 28 count straw. that was a gift from y'all. And it is so pretty. I can just hold it on here. Let's see. And I'm just using, I just pulled colors for it. Same old, you know me. And just got on with it. And I am loving it. And this is stuck on here kind of crazy, but it's a beautiful chart. It's easy to read. This one I really curled up stitching on it, I guess. I don't know, but it is wanting to go all kind of crazy. And it is so pretty. It has the numbers, which are the peppermint twist. I think this one's called Barbie Girl. This one is Santa Baby, maybe? Santa Baby is that red. That blue is, and these are all, I think, of Wicked Stepmothers. I pulled Wicked Stepmothers for all these. What is that dark blue there? Blueberry Hill, I think. Blueberry Hill is the rose in between. Now when we get here, this is where hers says Margaret Ann Rollo, and I think 1869. Yeah, 1869. I have decided, I was gonna put just Annie on there. She's Margaret Ann, and I was gonna put that, and then I decided no, that I would put Anne and James Ledbetter. So I put my stepmom and my dad and on here and gift this one to them. But it is beautiful on this straw. I don't know which way to turn this to make, there we go. It's very nice. It's weak style work. It's nice to stitch on. It's got the little bunny and the little crown on there. And I just changed the colors up. I'm loving it. It's beautiful. And it's quick. It doesn't, you know, it's not giant. You're not going to be stitching on it for 8 years or anything, which sometimes it feels like that when you're stitching on a big one, or it does to me. And I know y'all are, a lot of y'all are really good about having rotations and those little whip go boards and all those things y'all have. I am not very good about that. Anything like that. So that's the reason I decided to pull the rest of these whips out, because for me, kind of a lot of times it's out of sight, out of mind, and they're in their little other bins here. And the ones I was holding in the video are the ones that are out of my bin. Not that I'm not working on right this second. The ones I'm working on right this second, I'm moving down and out now and like this. This one is, oh, this is my Lena. This is Love Is Not All. This is a Wicked Stepmother's design. And I thought I had it where I could just grab that out, but I don't know what I did with it. My printer, for whatever reason, there it is, cut off the edges. I'm not sure why, because I have no skills. I mean, we all know that. I have no computer skills at all, so. But hey, there we go. There we go. And I just pulled my own colors for it. I'm having a lot of fun with it. I've started on the words and making myself just do a little bit of border in between. I didn't finish this row yet. This row's hard for me, these things. So I'm just gonna go back and forth between doing them, and I'm doing some border in between as I go. But it is a beautiful design, and I worked on it the other night, and then I just put it up. So it's got a piece of string just hanging down there. This is available on her website. It's a download. Let's see here. I can kind of pull it where you can see it in the weird light in here today. See most of it anyway, I guess. Well, I don't have it done very well, but it's done. How's that? So I got down here and started on my words. There we go. There we go. And the quote says, "I might be driven to sell your love for peace or trade the memory of this night for food. It well may be. I do not think I would." And this is the one that I said I would just do for James Williams and I. I've never really done. I did a little Prairie Schooler like pen pillow for us once. It has our wedding date on it. but that's all. So I'm having a lot of fun with this one. This I'm using the Sulky, I think it's 4007. Let's see, yeah, on the border. And those are the colors I pulled for it. But I am loving working on it. This is a piece of 32 count vintage rose. And it is so pretty on here. I really do like it. So that one has been a beauty to stitch on. I think I worked on it when we were watching Boba Fett the other night. I've told y'all we're sci-fi junkies. And then James will watch his horrible human shows, and I watch my horrible supernatural like kind of shows. It's like I'm loving Penny Dreadful. I think I'm nearly to the end of it. But he finds it disturbing, and I've told y'all time and time again, I can be fine with it. He watches brutal human shows, and I can't watch the brutal human shows. That's what messes me up, is the brutal human shows. And my Penguino is out there today, looking so happy. This is my winter ABCs from Little House Needleworks and Cricket Bed. It is on 28 Count Coffee Club from Bestitch Me. And it is very, let me see if I can get it out without knocking out that guy. And then Frosty's Night Out. And then there's my Fine Joy. Over here is, can you see Snowy by Hands On Design? The big one, and then the little one is on here. So you can kind of see the difference if you do it on different color fabrics. This one's on a lighter fabric. Let's see if I can get it out. I'm dumping it out here. So, so cute. And I have several of these turquoise bell jars, not bell jars, turquoise ball mason jars. Good grief, nothing wrong with me. And then that is the Winter Chalk Talk. That's the original one. Kathy has one now that you can get. Yeah, this one came off a calendar, but she has another winter one that you can get now, the pattern for. And they have a big one and another one, and then a real small one in each pattern. So those are really super nice. I think that's all I've got back there today. Yeah, but was that? Yes, I think 28 count. I don't think it's 32. I think it's on 28. But it's Bestitch Me fabrics, and it's Coffee Club, and that fabric is so nice to work on. It is super nice. So you will enjoy that if you get you some of that to work on. And then I worked on my Noah's Ark, and one of y'all asked, let me find it on here, because I went and counted. Stitching Party of One. And happy 35th anniversary on 12/16 also. I've stitched 5 arcs in all. I finished 5 arcs finished. And so this is number 6. This is Noah's Ark by Kathy Barrick. And now all I have left is, and I'll probably just hold this because I'll probably hold him up, are the words and then just a little single line border kind of around. So I have a dove left right here, and then the 40 days and 49, like around there. So it is so cute. I have loved stitching on this. I've loved watching it come to life. The animals are just precious. Did I miss a green right there on my tree? No, that one didn't have one. I remember looking at that and double checking. But it is adorable. It's just on a piece of, I think this is 28 count. 28 count linen that I had, and it's gray because I wanted it to look kind of stormy. And it's mainly, what are they? I'm gonna say it wrong if I don't look. Victorian Motto Sampler colors. And a couple of DMCs, and I think one General Arts. Well, I guess I got one of everything in here kind of, and one Wicked Stepmother, so there you go. And a DMC, and I just grabbed some colors out. In retrospect, if I was to do it again, I would probably do this part purple. I would do the background and the boat probably purple. a pale like violet color. And then my animals would have showed up without having to backstitch them any. But it is so cute. It's a beautiful stitch. It is available on her Etsy as a PDF download. It's in my bag from Patty Pen that has Noah's Arks on it. I'll hold up the ones I'm working on here so y'all can see that I do use the bags that y'all sent me. I do appreciate and love them, and I'll show this because she won't care. So Patty sent me a note in here, and so when you say, like, it's in there. So every time I open up the bag, I just kind of can say a little thank you, and because y'all are so sweet and nice, and so don't think I don't use them and that I don't appreciate it or I forget how nice y'all are to me, because y'all are so sweet. I'm trying to fasten this one up. Okay, then I had my finish. Let me see if I can get it on a board. This is Welcome Winter by the Drawn Thread. I told y'all I got the kit. It comes with the silks and the fabric and the instructions. It gives very good instructions for the specialty stitches. Let's see if I can get this whole thing to stick on here. It may be a little bit long. I thought this would just fit, but maybe not. It may be not. Well, just barely. It'll have to be a little bit wrinkly. It won't fit tight. And my needle is still stuck in it. The only thing I haven't done is put the little buttons. He has a button on his hat and two here. I haven't put them on because I'm going to put them on after I do a good press, and then I'll just sew those buttons on real easy and then give it a press around there again. So it's still pretty wrinkled up, but you can see it has the beautiful cardinal and the berries, and then the tree with a little robin and the house, and then the little snowman with his super fun little nose. And these snowflakes are beautiful. They were whooping me when I was doing them, but I love them when I'm done. The scarf, I don't know if you can see, has a little fringe, satin fringe. So you get to do all kind of fun stitches on here. And then I put in very pale thread, the smoke colored thread. One of these has my initials, and where's the ear? And my initials are down here. Right there. But it's the thread that's the smoke out of the chimney up there, so you don't see it a lot. So I loved working on this. This will be one of the shares this week. It is a beauty, and I can't wait to have it finished, and then I will put it on my red primitive toolbox. Love, love, love this. It is not my favorite. My favorite is this one, the spring. And so I brought this in here to show y'all how I did. This is the spring welcome, and I did the same thing. Got the kit for it. It came with the colors, and look at those eggs. I love the eggs. There's satin stitches. I may have padded those satin stitches. Nope, I didn't. They're just satin. So beautiful. But I don't remember who asked about it last week, and I forgot to bring it in here. Yeah. Cindy, good grief. I knew I'd find it in a minute. Talking about how I attach them to my primitive thing. You could use like the invisible thread or fishing string. I just have some hemp, okay? And here is a hairpin. And it's just glued on the back. So there's my back finish, and I just glued that on there. And then I take, because I have foam down in the primitive toolbox that I have different little greenery stuck down in, and then I just change out flowers or flags or pine cones or all that in there. And then I just take and lip it over the edge and poke this down into the foam, the floral foam that's down in there. You can get it at Walmart or Hobby Lobby, Joann's, any of those places. And then I just poke that down in there, and it just hangs like that on the side of the toolbox. Then my greenery hanging down and stuff, you don't notice these. But if you did, you could always put magnets on the inside of your primitive toolbox and put fishing string or invisible thread and put your 2 washers down here, and then just let that string hang over, let the washers attach to the magnet if you didn't want to stick anything on the outside of your primitive toolbox, which I didn't. I didn't want to put anything on the outside. So that's how I did those. It worked great. It works great. For me, I haven't had any problems with it coming off, or, I mean, and the girls combined, you know, kids are here all the time and stuff, and so I haven't had any problem with it at all. It's worked like a charm. We'll put that guy there because he will be a share. So that is my finish this week, is my Welcome Winter. Okay, and then we'll do all this last. Move that back there. Move that back there. Okay, then we're going into my whips that are don't get worked on every week. Some of them for quite a while, okay? This one has been about 3 weeks since I worked on my Heaven is Near. It is on the Coffee Club by Stitch Me. It is a Stony Creek. It is gorgeous. I love that cardinal, and I'm just about to where I'm going to get to start working on the cardinal, and then I'm going to be happier. Right now I'm working on the boring part, and you know that's no fun, so I'm just going to grab these 2 here so you can kind of see where I'm at. I do the DMCs with it. It was all sent to me to do, but I'm just about to where I can start working on the cardinal. I've got to do that limb here and then my cardinal, and then I'll be super happy. The other is just kind of, you know, till you get to the part you want to stitch. I like the words. I like doing the words. And so I should have not let myself do them first, because then I like to do the saying. And now I've got to do the tree, which is the part that I don't want to do. And then the cardinal will be here, and then I'll be super happy. But that is Signs from Heaven. I always say Heaven is Near, but it's Sign from Heaven from Stony Creek. I love it. I cannot wait till I get it finished. And I can put it in there with my Lady Cardinal and all that together. That has been a beautiful, fun one to work on. Scooch it back down in there. So that one hadn't been worked on a couple of weeks, but it's in there. Who's this guy? Let's see who's in here. This is a big a surprise for me as it is for y'all sometimes. Oh, this is my At First Cock's Crow. This is out of the Sisters book by Blackbirds. Yeah. I changed up a lot of the colors on mine. I just have DMCs and my Wicked Stepmother's pulled for it. It is beautiful. But I wanted a little bit of purple added into mine. You can see that purple in there with it. And let's see if you'll be able to see this okay. It's going to be really dark. Let's use the back of this. I'll try not to take forever on these, y'all. So I've got, the words are all finished. So now I just get to start doing the little birds in the house and all that. And I'll keep working on it. I want to have it done by fall next year. So you can see I'm right there. So now I get to do this border, the like cross-cut border, and then just the little house and the birds and all that. So it's beautiful. If you don't have this book, you're missing out. It has Peace and Plenty in here. Is another one I wanted to work on. For some reason, there's also, oh, okay, a pair of glasses in here. I must have carried it somewhere. Only me. I have my Spooky Selfie. This is the one from Jabco. And if you order the buttons from them, they send you, you get the chart with it, put the buttons on. And I haven't worked on it since probably about Thanksgiving maybe. So I have the one square finished. This square is the mummy. And then on this side over here is Frankenstein's monster. It is so fun. The girls loved it when they saw it and wanted me to stitch it. So I've got to get it done because they want it finished so they can see it. It also had a thread pack. It was a gift from y'all, and it's in my little thing from Patty Penn. There. She makes the coolest things. But those are the DMCs, so you can see it's all bright, fun colors. I dyed the Ada with some apple green and camel Rit dye. I just had a piece of like tan Ada. And since it's full coverage piece, it's easier for me to work a full coverage piece on that. And so I just did, that's what I did. So that's what that one is. So that's what 3. I'll make some little hash marks and see how many I've got. We got the end. 1, 2, 3. 3 so far. This guy is pulled and ready to start, but I haven't. So I guess he's just kitted. I'll show him though, because he's a beauty. He's in here. It is Jeanette Douglas Mini Pumpkin Stitches. It was a share from Adele, who Smurfette stitches. Her stitching is beautiful. It has these beautiful specialty stitches on here. So I have it all kitted up in here, ready to go. So hopefully I will get it going this year. It's in here for a start when I finish one of the others. This one, is there anything going in here? I think I finished up the other guy. No, that's one I finished and left the other things in the bag. So that one is not anything going. Okay, here is Quaker Pumpkins. This is beautiful from Hello by Liz Matthews. So beautiful, Quaker Pumpkins. I'm doing mine on a piece of dirty linen. Oh, now I want to sneeze. Goodness gracious. What all do I got in here? Oh, the needle's still on the back there. So I have 3 and kind of a half of the 5 pumpkins done. It is beautiful. It is a beautiful piece, a beautiful design. It is hard for me because the diagonal stitching whoops me, but it is still beautiful. And I will get it finished and be able to happily display it and love it. So there's that one, that's 4. I'm gonna tell you right now, I've never had this many in my life. But I do find that it is fun having some to switch back and forth from, because I don't like kitting up. That was another thing I've learned about myself, is I don't like kitting up. So, oh my. It's been a while since I worked on Wild Hedgerow House. I definitely need to get it back out. It's on, I believe it's on Toast by Be Stitch Me. I am about halfway around the border and part of the center. There's the house. So I've got this done and this done. And so I need to do my house and the rest of this. It is beautiful. It is by Jane Greenoff, Darley, and I started this one, and several other people. Some of y'all probably have finished it, and I have not. I have no excuse. except like I said, out of sight, out of mind. And it is the one that is a little harder for me to, or it's not, this one isn't particularly hard. It has a lot of confetti stitching. And so you jump around a lot. And that is not my favorite thing. On some of them, I switched and used variegated thread to keep from having to do the confetti stitching, which is fine. You can do that, and I have done it on a couple of the flower colors, and that does make me happier. That's 5, I think. I'm a terrible counter. What all do we have here? This one I'm counting as WIP because I need all 3. And I have finished 1, I think. Yes. I finished 1 of the 3. And I need the others. This is The Language of Liberty by Hands On Design. I'm trying to find the piece that has the front part in it. Well, there it is. It's The Language of Liberty by Hands On Design. This one is done, but I need to do these 2. So I've got everything here together, and I need to get started on it because I want the whole thing done by summertime. When I display it on my Patriotic, I want this one done by then. So it has got to get back to getting, it's got to get to getting so I can have it done. And I realized I just left my thread out of Cox Crowsow. So it's a beauty. I love stitching on it. It's gonna be so fun to have it finished. I can't wait to display it. So I'm gonna count that one because it is like a third done, because one of the 3 is done. And before I forget, I'm gonna put this thread back in this bag before I get all done and my little monkeys get here and I don't know where that came from. Okay, I think I marked that one. Who's this? Okay, this is the bunny that I started and he's been sitting. This is the Spring Hair by Leslie Tier. Let's see if I can put it this way. Loved it the minute I saw it. Loved it. It does have a lot of confetti stitching. It's on 28 count tea-dyed Monaco from Down Sunshine Lane. I'll get it in a minute. And I just kind of have the center of his tummy is it. I wish he was done because I'd love to display him soon, but he probably is not going to get done this year. I might surprise myself, who knows, but 7. Okay, who's in this guy? Oh, that's where I have the other pieces, the eyeballs and all are in this bag here to go to Spook House Selfies. That's what I had them in that bag. Okay, so here we go with 8. And this is, oh, I set this one aside and I've got to decide, this is my Halloween Rules by Lizzie Kate. And here's my fabric and here's my everything and no. And I think it's gonna be okay. I'm gonna do it like this. I'm just wanting to be sure that I'm liking the coverage. I set it aside because I'm doing 1/2. And this is the very top little border piece if you're gonna put them all together, which I was. And I just wanna be sure that I like the coverage before I go any further. So I kind of set it aside to let my brain think about it. I think it's gonna be fine. Theirs, I think they probably did 2/2. Here's one of them. They're so cute. But I just set it aside. I wanted to be sure that I think that may be 8. That was gonna be enough coverage. These are 1/2 also. No, they're not. These are 2 over 2 on this one. This one I did not, I swear I got the thing for it. I had to have. I know what I did. I did the letters 2 over 2. I may have done the whole thing 2 over 2 on this one. But I know I didn't on some of them. So that's the thing. You've got to decide. And I think this is going to be fine. I wanted to do 1 over 2 because I did not want to fight so much white thread. I don't like my stitches, my white stitches, as much if I use 2 threads. So my thought was if I could get happy with 1 over 2, I would be happier with my white stitches. So that was the thought behind this. So it just got tossed to the side and had to sit there. And there it sits. So those are 8. Those are my 8. Those are 8 whips, and I think that's all I've got, unless there's one stash somewhere else or something. I think that's everything that's in my bin right in there right now. I think. I did get a little bit of Happy Mail this week. Lori, you were gonna laugh so hard about this. Sometimes James Williams says, I'm gonna help you and open up these cards, which means he's bored and doesn't have anything to do, and he's picked up the mail. So he opened up your card. Lori sent me this adorable card, and it has this beautiful little note, and there's a little bag of peppermint tea in here, which I love peppermint tea, especially this time of year when you can't breathe. And she has 2022 charms down in here. Well, when he opened them up and was setting them out for me, those 2022 charms went all over the counter, and he said, it has some kind of metal confetti in here. He's so nosy. But when he gets bored, he don't have anything to do. He was trying to find something to do, and he'll help me by opening up my mail. And then my big happy mail this week came from Charles. Charles had messaged me and said he had bought a book that he had found at a resale bookstore, and it was a nice book, and it is beautiful, and it is, he got it at a used bookstore. He swore for a good price. I am so astounded. It is the most beautiful book I've ever seen, I think, and I have started reading it, just enjoying it leisurely. It is the Quaker Schoolgirl Samplers from Acworth. Y'all, this book is so beautifully written. It's, let's see if I can open up in here. It talks about the schools and the founding of the schools, and where's the one I wanted to show? I thought I stuck something in here. Well, I can't find worse. And it has their samplers. It has stories about them. It shows close-ups, is that on the screen, of their little stitches. I mean, this is the Verland sampler from Germany, 1807. Look at this thing. It makes me think of Anne Grimshaw, I guess because it's all one tone. Look at this one. This one says it is a band sampler, Elizabeth Hopkins, and she even has cut work in it. Can y'all see that? This is the most beautiful book, and I have been enjoying just reading through it. Well, the day I had Mama here, I told her that Charles had sent it to me, and she just sat there and flipped through it. She loves to read. She even still loves to read. Now, she can't tell me what she read after she read it, but she still loves to read. She loves the book in her hand, and she loves the act of reading, and she still reads tons, and I love that. So thank you, Charles, so much, because not only am I enjoying it, Mama enjoyed it. She just looked at it and flipped through and was looking at all the, I mean, you can just go, there's beautiful samplers in here. And then the writing itself is gorgeous. So I am enjoying it like crazy. Charles and I are like-minded about a lot of things, like Frita pie is one word. When you cook it and have it for dinner, I've seen other people have it for dinner other places. Frita pie. Frito pie. Y'all eat that? With Fritas and then chili and cheese and onions. Y'all eat that? No, I don't know. That's a thing here. And I love it. I like to do mine in the oven because I don't want, then your Fritas aren't quite as crunchy. James Williams prefers it Fritas and then just put your chili and your cheese and onions on top because he likes his crunchier so he can gripe that it cut up the top of his mouth. There you go. That's what he likes best. So those are the whips I've been working on, and all my whips and all, and my finish of Welcome Winter. And then I had a few comments here. I'm not doing too bad time-wise. Jeannie, please try to rest and recover. Goodness gracious, y'all worry me sometimes. You've got to rest up. So please try to rest, Jeannie. Stitching Party of One, I'm looking up Cleon. I hope I said it right. I have it here outside to look up. Susie and Susan sent, and I'm trying to think who else messaged me. And I can't think of it. Anyway, Balti Threads has an adorable Noah's Ark, and it is a cross section of the Noah's Ark, and it's so cute. So if you haven't seen it, look it up. It is adorable. And Cricket Bug, 2 extra days of traveling. I hope that you were not stuck in the airport, for heaven's sake. I am not a good traveler. I love being somewhere different. I don't love getting somewhere different. Everybody what's going to tell you, you know, the destination is the journey, and no. I don't like being in the car. I don't like being in the airplane. I love getting somewhere and being somewhere different. When they come out with a transporter like on Star Trek, sign me up. I hope I don't get squelched and stuck half in, half out of a wall or something, but I don't like traveling. I don't like being stuck in the car and you can't do nothing. You're just sitting there and the other cars are whizzing by, and the airplane, all the stinky, gross air, all the other people in there breathing out stinky, gross air, and then I'm just slinging it around and sticking it right back in your throat. It's disgusting. Disgusting. Yeah, it's not my bag. So I love going somewhere when I get there. I don't love the act of getting somewhere. So the thought of being stuck in an airport for 2 days, it would be bad for me, y'all. It would just be bad. And I know some people just take it on the chin and just go right on, but I would not be that person. And Charles, again, thank you for the beautiful book and for saying that I'm not a lazy talker. And I love the story about Arya and watching the old Flosstubes. And Dairy Queen does have the Frita pie everywhere. And Sonic, even here. Does y'all Sonic have a Frita pie? Our Sonic has a Frita pie too. But I love hearing the way different people talk. I love it. Love, love, love it. And so I think that is a beautiful way to say it's the poetry of the people is how they talk. So I love that. So thank you. Because I could listen to other people talk forever. Judy, fireworks ain't my thing either. I am not a fireworks person. I don't like the sound. I don't. The sound of the popping and the things going off, I find that very unnerving. And so, like at Disney, when you go see the fireworks and they're not close to you at all, and there's music and stuff playing, I do way better than that at that. But like if you're at somebody's house at New Year's and they want to be setting off fireworks, I used to just stay in the house because I don't, that is just, boy, you talk about getting on your last nerve. There's something about that that makes me so like that. Like I could nearly have a stroke and die from that pop, 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 bam, pop, 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 bam. I don't like that at all. So I'm right with you with the fireworks. And Cindy, happy birthday. New Year's Eve was her birthday, I think you said was on. And so happy 65. I hope you had a good one and are still having a good week. Nix, hello. Thank you, new subscriber, Nix. I hope you enjoyed it. Angela, yes, all the COVID sickies are recovering. Thank you, Jesus. My friend Susan was the worst. and there haven't been any treatments around here. I guess on Tuesday they were going to have more of the antibodies around this area. They were out of everything. So Justin ended up, his was just a reaction to his shot. He even got the rash, the big rash on his arm from his booster. And we decided it was that because after that, he was fine the next day. And never did run fever. He just felt horrible. And then the end of that day, he started out with the rash on his arm. So we decided that's what it was his reaction to his shot. But other than that, after that, he was fine. He's been working on the pool house he's building out there. So he's been fine since then. Susan is still weak, but she is okay now. And it was, but we've had, my friend Sarah had a hysterectomy. It was a day surgery one. And then yay for my friend Nay, who has been trying years to get a breast reduction, and she did. She got her breast reduction, so this week. So I've got to check, she had EHT. So I've got to check on her today. It, well, I mean, y'all know if you've been carrying it around all these years, it pulls on your neck and all this and your back. And so she has been trying to get it approved and done for years, and she finally did. So I've got to check on her this afternoon. Susan, yes, I am doing my Welcome Winter 1/2. It isn't like totally full coverage, but I don't remember ever not liking it. This one, I know I changed the colors because they had the letters brown. So I'm wondering if on this one, because I swear it's 2 threads. This one I did 2 threads. I guess because I knew I wouldn't be using any of the brown, I'd probably have plenty of everything. So this one is done 2/2 on this one, because I can see the 2 threads, but it would have said 2 threads on the, it tells you to do the 2 threads when you're doing specialty stitches like the eggs anyway. But this is brown if you do it on, with what they send you. And I didn't like the brown, and I did mine green. I remember switching that out, I think. And I switched another one to blue that was a different, maybe brown or something. So I think I'm going to be, I mean, I'm going to be okay with it. And yes, I am doing 1/2 on my Welcome Winter. And Sally, yes, I'll put the chai tea recipe on the Facebook page, which has been getting sad and neglected lately. I will do better, I promise. Holly, I love Come When You Want To. I love that. And that's the way I hope my kids feel. Come when you want to. I hope you always want to. I hope you come when you can. That's what Daddy will say when we leave. He'll say, you got to go, baby. And, you know, I say, yeah, Daddy, you know, we got to go. And Daddy always walks outside and waves at you until you're gone. He walks outside and waves at you until you're gone. And I remember my grandparents, good old girl, did that. She would always go out and wave at you when you're leaving and be standing there waving as long as you could see her. And he'd say, well, he says, well, come when you can, baby. And so that, I love that. Come when you want to and come when you can. Yes, please, because always know that I want you here. And Debbie, I hope you're feeling better too. You and Jeannie, y'all need to rest. Just binge Flosstubes and rest. Jackie, aren't those narrowboats fascinating? I watched a thing on, it's on PBS, and I can't think of what it's called, about those narrowboats on England. Those people live in them. And I thought, you know what, that might be okay. I could sleep on top. I don't know if, I'm so claustrophobic. I don't know if I could sleep inside one, but the thought of living on one of those little skinny pretty boats, and they're all painted so pretty, I think I'd like that. Joyce, yes, it has been hot in Louisiana and Texas during Christmas, and then now it's freezing here. So it's 40 today. The wind isn't blowing quite as bad as yours, Steve. It went down in the low 30s and 20s, high 20s last night. So Keely was out busting water on the water troughs, and which Dina or any of y'all up there that have seen these, I told him I would ask, because I said, no, I've never seen one. Here, when it's cold, you know, you have your cowboy hat, your felt hat on, right? But, you know, your brim's like this, and the wind catches it when you're turning different ways and out feeding, and it wants to blow it off your head. So, and you could put the stampede strap on there, but ain't nobody wanting to fool with stampede strap, let's just be honest. And it choking your neck when the wind catches it. So he said he had seen on something he watches up there, one of the cow shows up north. It's like a ball cap, but it's felt, and it has a thing that you can go down like this on your ears, but because it's a ball cap, it doesn't have the thing all the way around and won't catch as much wind. So if any of y'all have used those and know if they are easier to keep on your head than a cowboy hat, or if you like them, let me know what you think about them, because he's thinking about getting one. And he said, ask some of your friends if any of them have one, if they like them. Jana, that rust taffeta bleeding, I know you nearly went to balling. I would have gone to balling. She said she made a wedding quilt, and it was like muslin and rust taffeta, and then when she washed it, the rust taffeta went everywhere on it. And then she just took that piece and wet it, and then blotted it on the rust taffeta, and she said the rust taffeta onto the muslin, and she said it turned out looking beautiful. So yes, I'm the person that don't throw it away, don't give it up, just try to make it work. I'm a make it work person. Sherry and Zan say they hear me saying, hello y'all, hey y'all, it's me, Niecy Lynn, throughout the day. And it's funny how we hear, like I do have things that just come into my mind, and I'll wonder, what made me think about that? And I'm the song person. Everything in the world makes me think about a song, about the words to a song, and then I'll start singing that song. And so, yes, I definitely understand that, but thank y'all for thinking about me. And Grammy Stitcher, I forgot about the spice tea. Some people putting the Red Hots in it. Patty used to put Red Hots in her spice tea, and I don't have any Red Hots in mine, so I'll have to get some Red Hots today. And Anna Jane said about the website for getting the Santa, which I thought I left it where I could reach it. Oh my gosh. Y'all, if I fall off here and kill myself, y'all gonna laugh. I don't know, I guess I can't fall off of nothing because I lean forward. This design here, and I'm gonna hold this up. It is jbwdesigns.com. I don't know if it'll focus. Will it focus? There we go. So it's jbwdesigns.com. And it is Dear Santa is the name of that one. But she will keep it available in PDF because it's so cute. And I've got a FFO this one and this one. So I hope that helps, Anna Jane. And let's see, last week's, and I did not go to the mailbox this week, y'all. I only got out once to pick Mama up and take her back. That's the only time I've gone anywhere this week, so y'all know me. So if you were getting mail from me, you didn't get it this week, so I'm sorry for that. Okay, last week's shares were the Doggies in the Round by JBW Designs. So cute. And it goes to Norette Herzog. Norette, if you'll email me your address, NiecyLynn@Yahoo. The flowers go to Lenore. I use the YouTube random comment picker, and so the flowers are going to Lenore. It'll take its ride to Australia to her. So that is beautiful. Look at that. And all these are still available from Judy's jbwdesigns.com. You can order straight from her, or your LNS has them, or your online stitching shop, whichever you use. And the elephants go to Susan Lopiano. Susan Lopiano, if y'all will email me your address, this is so dang cute. Look at that sweet elephant. Love it. I will get those in the mail. I'll go tomorrow because James Williams will have to get out tomorrow because he can't sit home all day. That's just him. Then the shares this week will be the Welcome Winter. And theirs are multi-page charts, but they're like crazy nice. But so it's so easy to read and see, and good instructions and everything on it. So it is Welcome Winter. So if you're interested in that one, tell me if you like wintertime or not. Then we have, this one is so sweet. Kitties in the Round. That is so precious. And it has another, so here, I'm gonna show this one. This one has this in here and this. So you can put this on top and then that little thing on the inside lid. That is so sweet. Kitties in the Round. So kitties, use the word kitties like this. Kitties. Use the word kitties. And let me know if you like kitty cats or not, or if you've ever had one. And then we will do the wedding bells, because somebody could get this stitched up in time for a spring or even summer, you know, anytime wedding. Because this is not too much to this. And this is beautiful, and this with the wedding announcement beside it. And it shows it here in 2 colorways. So make sure you use the word wedding if you're interested in that one. Tell me if you had a big or a little wedding. I'm writing this out so I can remember what I did last week. Okay, all right, y'all. I think that's everything, and I'm right on an hour. Yes. All right, I will get off here and let y'all get on your day. I hope you have a happy Friday and a great weekend, and enjoy your stitching. Bye.